This cougar is suing her 20 years younger ex-boyfriend after a botched proposal leads to a chipped tooth. You want the tooth? You can handle the tooth. Let's get into it.
We had been dating only 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
How did you two meet?
We met on an app, on a dating app. It was the first time.
That's great. I find that to be very efficient. I've been married 30 years. I cannot believe the progress we've made in the dating sphere. And so you don't have to be embarrassed about that. All right.
It was new for me.
Yeah.
And so this is about a year ago, and I put myself out there, put my picture, had to go through and deciding what information
Pictures
you
from
would
10
give.
years ago or pictures from now?
No, pictures from now. I used an accurate picture.
Damn, Judge, you don't gotta call her out like that.
Anyway, and I chose Patrick. It was the first gentleman that I had chose, and there was a connection.
Okay. And there is an age difference between you two.
A little bit.
What's the little bit? Wait, why are you looking at him? Is he better at math? You know what the age difference is.
Well, I mean, it's...
What's the age difference?
20 years now.
20 years. All right. And how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. It's just a wee thing.
What would you do if there was a child right in front of you?
All right. I don't know whether to say shame on you or you go, girl.
Right, you go, girl.
Right,
It's like
right.
right.
No, right. I know. It's. I mean, if you were a man and he was a woman, I'd say shame on you without a doubt. And but nobody else would. I would, or lots of people wouldn't. So who knows? Age is just numbers, right?
Just numbers.
Until it's not.
There is a little bit of a double standard there. Do you guys think it's a little weird if it's an older woman? Or do you think it's more weird if it's an older man?
Shame. Shame.
And so now you're dating him for 3 weeks, and what happens?
We had been dating 3 weeks. We were having a ton of fun. The particular night and reason why I am suing and why I have a bill for $475 to replace and fix my front tooth is that Patrick is a pastry chef. Lovely. I don't cook. I don't want to cook. I love that he was a great cook. And he decides we're going to have a romantic dinner at my house because he lives with someone.
All right.
And so we are going to have a dinner at my house.
The detail of that isn't true, Your Honor.
What detail isn't true?
She actually invited me over. She was very...
Okay, either way. So you were doing the cooking, and it was at her house, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then what happens?
So it was a normal night. It was a 5-course meal. It went on and on.
Well, is that a normal night for you?
Well, I will...
just a second, because I've been missing out on more than apps.
Well,
if that's a normal night for you. Go ahead.
But I will tell you, I mean, he loves to cook, and he's a really good cook. And so this was our 4th or 5th time that he had cooked for me.
Okay.
Now, this night, he was sweating bullets. It was drawn out. And so it was a little different in that regard, right?
Did you ask him what's wrong? What's wrong?
Not really.
No.
Okay, why not?
Not really.
Did you think you knew what was wrong?
No, not at
Okay.
all. I had no idea with what
Well,
was
he's
about to
sweating
happen.
bullets. If I'm on a date and the guy is sweating bullets,
Honestly,
I would like to know
maybe
if
he
he's
was
sick
having
or
some
something.
stomach issues. It was like
okay,
10 or
that's what
15
I would think. I would think,
It was
maybe I shouldn't get too close to you.
Right, I was like, not sure. So it
Okay.
was like 10 or 15 minutes, he was gone, and I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on here. I get up to go and check on him, and as I'm walking to the front, I see a van pull up with a string quartet getting out playing music.
Where had you guys been eating? Where was the meal served?
In front of my house. I have a I have a lovely front
patio
in Toluca Lakes.
Okay.
Yeah, front patio where we were eating.
So you see,
I'm getting up, and a van pulls up.
a string quartet pulls up. And
They get out
they get out.
playing music.
Right, and what are
Now,
they playing?
I've been proposed to 4 other times.
Wait, back up. What? What'd you say? You've been proposed to
I've been
4 other times?
Yes.
So this is a 5th person who proposes to you?
Yes, honestly, yes. Not as quickly as 3 weeks.
We all are going to bottle what you got, and we're going to market it, all right? So 5 times you've been proposed. So you got the impression when you saw the string quartet.
I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what is going on here?
Okay.
All of a sudden, I'm thinking he's sweating, he's nervous, he's been gone for 10 minutes. Why is there a string quartet in front of my house that it's starting to walk towards me to serenade me? I walk back to the table. I take a big gulp of wine because I'm like, oh my goodness, right? And I take a
Lot
bite
of wine, Your
Hold on
Honor.
one second. I'm going to give you the floor in a moment. I just want
I
to hear
take a
what you
bite
have.
of a cannoli because he really
He
it's
had
the-
served the cannolis
The
already?
cannoli is sitting in front of us. I take a sip of wine, I take a bite of the cannoli, and I crack my tooth.
What was wrong with the cannoli?
It had a ring in it, Your Honor.
It had a ring in it.
There was a ring in the cannoli.
In the cannoli.
Yes.
No way this guy was about to propose 3 weeks after knowing this woman. That is insane.
So not only am
God
I
bless you, darling.
3 weeks into dating this
All
young
right,
man.
all right. Stop. Okay, all right. Okay. So, in other words, you feel that the 25-year-old didn't have adequate judgment.
Well, possibly, yes.
Yeah. All of a sudden. It sounds awful when I say it, right? Do you have
Right,
children?
A little different when you're saying
Do you have
it.
children?
I do.
How old are your children?
I have a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Okay. Did they know you were dating a 25-year-old? Just curious.
No, had not put that out there.
Yeah, well, it's out there now, girl. So, all right. Let me
was
hear
3
from you,
weeks, Your
Patrick.
Honor.
Talk to me. How is this relationship going? Where I applaud your romantic inclination, but how did you misread the tea leaves like this? Talk to me. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I was led on like a horse on a harness.
Maybe
like-
it's only 3 weeks.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
please
ma'am.
don't
it was,
ridicule him
it,
anymore. We've heard enough. Go
It
ahead.
was only 3 weeks,
Yeah.
but this whole era of my life was very new. I got out of a very long.
Can't be that long. You're 25, but go ahead.
I got out of a kind of a traumatic relationship, and I
Okay.
was looking for something new, something more mature.
More mature? Like, like 20 years older than me mature? Like a cougar mature? Something like that.
And
Wait, did you two meet on that kind of a site where it's cougarish?
I did.
Yes or no?
I did set the age range to what I was looking for.
And did you set like a ceiling that was much older than you? Like, I mean, the floor that was much older than you?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, so what was your range that you put in there?
I was looking 35 and up. I was
Okay.
looking for love, to be honest with you. I haven't been a part of the hookup culture. I was looking for something very real, and I didn't care what the age was. And to my surprise, I found this, what I thought, a beautiful woman, and we started texting, but there wasn't a lot of text back and forth. She immediately asked if we could meet in person that night. And I was open to it. Like I said, I was out of a pretty bad relationship. I was ready to enter this.
How
new
long
stage.
had that relationship been?
About 4 years.
Okay, go on.
So we met in person. I took her to my favorite street taco place in downtown. We
Tacos.
danced in the street to live music.
That was good.
And it was very romantic. We texted back and forth as the weeks went on. She told me things like I was the one, like she was head over heels in love with me, and that she wished more men were like me. I've never been told things like that in my life. That made me feel good. Relationship progressed. I felt very strongly about it, especially from the confirmation she gave me, telling me how important I was to her and how.
But don't you see the wisdom in maybe waiting a little bit?
I was struck, Your Honor. My grandparents are when I think of true love, I think of them. My grandpa proposed to my grandma in 7 days. I thought that was a cool love story. She gave me the wedding ring right before she died, and she told me to give it to a special woman.
The wedding ring that broke my front tooth.
Okay, can you just put a pause button on your mouth? That's a beautiful story. How long were your grandparents together?
They were together for 47 years.
That's beautiful. Now, it's also unusual, you know that, right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you're
And-
just an incurable romantic, and you thought this was the one. And but rather than discuss it, you thought you'd do a grand surprise gesture.
I did, I'm embarrassed by this because I was so confirmed in how I thought she felt about me. I kind of feel like it was more of a physical attraction at this point. I do have text to prove what she said and how fond she was.
I don't even want to see it, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm assuming she said, "I want to marry you." Makes no difference, okay? It makes a difference to you because you're embarrassed because things did not go well here. And, well, not only did she say no, which she has a right to say, and she's suing you. So it all went very, very poorly for you. And I understand that. And I love what a romantic you are. I think that's a wonderful trait. But you also have to temper that in your life with a little bit of, I don't want to say common sense, because that's not right. With a little bit of skepticism is really, because it's not common sense. Love isn't common sense. I started dating my husband when I was 29, and in my culture, when you are 29 and you have not been married, your parents are like, you know, going to tea leaf readers and shell throwers to try to figure out what is, you know, when they're going to have grandkids and what. I met my husband and I knew immediately, and so did he. We knew immediately. We knew like a month in. But we didn't do anything about it a month in because we both understand that we're almost 30 and we need to get to know each other. And that's kind of, where the real life has to be tempered with the romance. But in any event, it's really not about that, because you're welcome to feel and do and have all the grand gestures in your life you want to have. And one day there's going to be a woman that is going to think the world of it. And she is going to give her grandson the ring that you gave her, that your grandmother gave you. You see, that person's out there, and you got to find them. This woman wasn't it.
Do you guys believe in true love? And also, do you think that he acted a little bit too quickly?
The reason that we're here is because of what happened as a result of your gesture. Because it isn't just that, you know, she didn't say yes. It's that she broke her tooth because you put the ring inside of the cannoli. What were you thinking? Talk to me. What did you think was going to happen? How does this end well, to put the ring in the cannoli?
That's a fair point, Your Honor. But to defend myself, I did tell her not to bite in the cannoli right that second. We were setting up. We ate dinner. I brought out the dessert. I was extremely nervous, kind of petrified. So I said, "Wait, don't eat the cannoli right now." I went inside. I was kind of cleaning myself up, like prepping myself, and that's when I got a notification from the string quartet that they were here. I quickly rushed outside, and she bit into the cannoli instantly. The string quartet was there. I bent down on one knee, asked her to marry me, and she said if she wasn't in so much pain, she would be laughing. She called me a little boy. She called me ridiculous. She belittled me. She actually compared me to her 15-year-old son that got rejected from asking a girl to go to homecoming.
Why are you so mean, Ms. White? No, seriously, because you chose to date a 25-year-old. You have a 15-year-old son. You chose to date a 25-year-old, and then you're not particular. I understand you want your money. You broke your tooth. I get all that, but you're just so gratuitously mean in the process about it, like laughing at him. He's right. You've been laughing at him since you walked in. You laughed at him on the spot. I mean, you just be nicer.
Well,
I can't legally enforce that. I just want you to be nicer.
I understand that, and I appreciate that, and that could have potentially happened had he paid me back.
She makes a beautiful point there. It's like, listen, you are in your 40s and you chose to date someone in your 20s. Like, how can you expect them to be on the same maturity level as you, or to make any kind of like decisions that a 40-year-old would make? And then you compare him to your son. That should subconsciously tell you that you're like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't be dating someone that's in their 20s, that's 20 years younger than me. What do you guys think? Do you think it's wrong to be dating someone with that big of an age gap?
I tried to reach out to him the next day. I went to 3 different doctors. The cheapest doctor that I could find was $475. I spent 2 weeks waiting to get my front tooth fixed. I have a picture.
I want to see the tooth. Show me the tooth.
Of my front tooth that, if you want to take a look, I mean, I had to walk around like that for 2 weeks, walking around missing the piece. I mean, it's not a good look, is it? Not to mention the pain I was in. And if he would have answered my call the next day, oh gosh, yes, okay.
Well,
yes.
It's your picture.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
Right.
But if he would have answered my call the next day, paid me back for me fixing
Yeah, I know,
my
but
tooth,
I understand. That's why, but that's what court
place.
was made for. So you come to court, you sue, and all right. But do you have to you don't have to annihilate him in the process? You understand? Look, I think that's very sweet. You're very romantic. That was a dangerous thing to do.
Your Honor,
the quartet isn't dangerous. The proposal's not dangerous. I mean, I think it's ill-advised, but it doesn't matter. It's not dangerous. But putting a ring inside of food that goes in someone's mouth, who knew it could break a tooth? Well, yeah. And your defense is to say, I told her don't start without me, but you served it. I hope the lesson that you take is maybe slow it down a little, but maybe not. Just don't put a ring in food that goes in someone's mouth, because they are likely to bust their tooth, especially if they're 45 and not 25. But it could happen to anybody. You understand? It's a dangerous thing, or she could swallow it and choke. Like, many bad things could happen. It is not a good idea. Dropping it in the champagne glass, never a good idea. That's another one that you see all the time. The cannoli is a new one on me, but, you know. Did you read that somewhere? Did you see it somewhere?
Creative insight.
Okay. All right. So let's try to channel our creativity in a way that is more productive to defending your heart, and don't put a ring in food for someone to bite into. And also, maybe don't give your heart to a woman you've known 3 weeks that may not deserve it.
I was fooled for sure. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I'd call that fooled. I think that just because someone tells you, wow, I can see you in my life long term, that doesn't necessarily mean you should be proposing in week 3. You know, sometimes, but none of that matters. Just don't put rings in food, okay? Verdict for the plaintiff, $475, and I wish you all of the luck and romance that the world has to give you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I was talking to him.
Is it just me, or does this older woman just kind of piss you off? I'm just kind of like, okay, you're like beating him while he's down. Like, he's a kid. He's a kid. He's 25 years old. Whether you like to admit it or not, that's still really young. Like, I don't think anyone should be dating anyone that's 20 years younger than them. And I feel like if you're that age and you're single and you're going for people that are 20 years younger than you, there's something wrong with you, clearly. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.